All right. You have tuned in to Believe Radio, which is a 24-hour inspirational and gospel music station. The Eyes of the Conscious Soul with Sistah the Mellow brings to you every first Saturday of the month from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. the Cafe Le Blue Lounge, where there are 15 to 45-minute segments called The Corner. Each corner has a blueprint that is unique of its own. So we also ask for you to sit back, relax to cool sounds if we vibing out to that, and then fireside chats, which we're going to have today, and be inspired by affirmations and inspirational messages. The first corner on the Cafe Le Blue Lounge is called the Artist Talk. We showcase musicians, poets, singers, dancers, film producers, authors, comedians, gospel and R&B rappers from around the Bay Area to across the globe. They share their creative process and their lived experience. The second corner is Why I Dream. We highlight and honor the inventions and creative work of today's brilliant mind, along with the geniuses from the past. We are preserving African American history and culture in order to keep our legacy alive. Every third corner is She Who Believes Takes Off the Mask. This is where you will hear from individuals sharing their personal testimonies to what the Lord has done and is doing in their lives, which are inspirational messages. Also, we are highlighting golden lights affirmations to impact healing medicine in the soil of the brilliant minds of today. Every second Saturday of the month, we from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. we have the Medicine Hour with my co-host, Mr. George Pearson, PSA physician assistant. He is my co-host. This is where we believe building a better tomorrow starts with us. Topics we cover: health issues and concerns, healthy eating habits, education, financing, and politics in the African American community. We believe taking care of our temple, mind, and spirit is essential to having mental wellness. Also, healthy eating habits is important, and knowing that healthy thinking leads to a healthy way of living. Every third Saturday of the month, we have Education is the Best Medicine. My host is the founder and producer, Mr. George Pearson. Education is the Best Medicine is a 501c3 nonprofit charitable organization which is community based, health, educational, advocacy based, and a resource based organization that uses public media, resources, radio, newspapers, and church based community health fairs to provide health information and education. This is where we believe vision is the art of seeing things yet unseen and bringing light to a very dark world. Every fourth Saturday of the month, we have the kitchen table with myself, Ms.Barbara Howard, aka Sister B. Mellow, the founder and producer of not Education is the Best Medicine, The Eyes of the Conscious Soul with Sister B. Mellow, and Mr. Pearson is my co-host. We are going to start something new. So I have something cooking in the brewery, and we're going to bring back a recent show that we had years ago. So stay tuned for that. This is where we have real talk conversations with individuals, organizations, community leaders, business owners from around the Bay Area to across the globe and talk about the different beautiful things that they're doing in their community. Boy, that's a mouthful, but however, it is what we need to do to make sure that we are giving you a outlook on what we do here on the Eyes of the Conscious Soul. So today, I am excited to say I have a co-host that's going to be co-hosting with myself and Rose. You met the young man. You seen his interview a couple of weeks ago. We want to send a shout out to him, send some love. He had surgery. So we want to send him some positive vibes. But I got another young man that's going to be a part of the co-host with me. And we're going to be vibing out and having a good time. So today is the corner on Cafe Le Blue Lounge. And we're going to start off with the artist talk. So this brother co-host name is V6. He plays on the letter 6 instead of having S. He put 6. I ain't mad. So this show is going to be definitely about why I dream too. So Mr. V6, how you doing? All right. Say you just fit right on in.
Yeah, I'm blessed to be here.
Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome. Well, it's my pleasure to have you on here. I am one that always will bring young folks that's a part of my life to the platform, whatever platform that I am on. I try to make sure that I allow you guys to be a part of it, and I work for y'all. You know, Miss Howard's life is not in her hands no more. You know, I done did my thing. Yeah. So, you know, but I'm excited to be able to give you guys this opportunity. But I do want to ask you a couple of questions about the artist's work that you do. I know you do music, yes. And then you can tell us about the other information that you have, because I think you have a cooking. I'm not gonna talk too much, but go ahead, my brother.
Okay, so my name is V6. That's my stage name.
All right.
I do rap.
Okay.
Hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Not gangster rap.
All right.
That. I don't talk about
yes.
Nothing crazy like that.
Well, I appreciate that, because we sure couldn't do that on the
show.
Yeah,
none of that. What I do talk about is just things that that I done been through, things that people around me might have been through, things that I've seen growing up and stuff like that. Just one of the people that I was heavily inspired by was Tupac.
Okay. Hey.
So I take a page.
I love Tupac too.
I wouldn't say that I copy his style, but I take a couple pages out of his book on how he used to talk about things, and the intensity that he talks about it with, and the passion, things like that. So especially in our community.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, and about the food channel as well. That's what I'm doing. I just started.
Okay.
It's not something I've been posting food a lot. Like everywhere I go, when I eat, I always make sure I video record the food.
Right.
So I had a bunch of people that used to always go in my inbox and be like, "Hey, why don't you do food reviews? Why don't you do this, do that?" And for a minute, I just was kind of like, I'm not really sure if I want to do it, but it makes sense because I love to eat. And
me too.
Yes.
That's why Miss Howard need to go to the gym. Don't laugh at me though. I need to go to the gym.
No, you look good though. But
for 58.
Hey,
58.
Blessed.
Okay.
So I started that, but what I threw into it, instead of just doing food reviews, I actually started baking on my own.
Oh.
Making dump cakes.
Okay.
It's very simple, but I put my own twist on it.
Okay.
Last night I actually made one that was double layered, double crusted, with some shortbread cookies and stuff on there. I won't get at people too much because I actually plan on selling these and to the community and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So I don't want to give people too much. You know what I mean? So
just a little taste.
Just a little bit. But they're great though. They're coming out good. I'm getting better. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so grateful that you young folks are really taking advantage of this social media, because people are starting their new businesses, and it's just a gift that God gave you. So why not tap into that talent?
Exactly.
And that's what it's about. But I do want to go back to, you were saying about the music that you put out, and it's about your lived experience.
Yes.
And can you tell me a little bit of how you was raised and how you were brought up?
Let me just start by saying that I was raised by my dad.
Okay.
And my grandma and a couple of my aunties
they give them names. You gotta give them shout outs. You gotta say their names.
My auntie Gwen.
Okay.
My grandma Jewel Glover.
Okay.
My dad, we got the same name. I'm a junior.
Okay.
And my Aunt May and aunties of that nature. They actually passed on.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
all of them. That
they happy
named.
now. We doing something in honor of them.
Yeah.
That's what we gonna do.
No more pain for them.
Yeah. Hey.
So I lost my mom when I was 4. Dorothy Grant.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So after that, it was kind of like I didn't really understand at that time, how it would impact my life.
Yeah.
But as I got older, in my late 20s, I started to really notice. I started to really notice how it impacted my life. And my dad did a great job. Like he kept me out of trouble. He
That's good.
He was hard. He was hard, but not too hard. He spoiled me, but he was hard though. You know what I mean? Right. He really got on me about graduating from high school and going to college. Now, I did try out college a little bit. I didn't graduate from college, but I did try out college. I went to ITT Tech that was actually here in this building.
Oh, and wow, look at that.
Yeah, it was a 2-year program. I think I finished about a year. And then I kind of just...
It ain't say that you can't go back. So,
yeah,
you can always go back.
Exactly. So, yeah, they did a great job. And, as the older I get, I just try to, I try my best to kind of, I guess, heal those scars on my own. You know what I mean? Because it left a lot of damage that I didn't know. You know what I mean?
With mom.
So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, and even with the aunties that passed, like they played a heavy part in raising me. So absolutely. A lot of things that I learned.
Well, for a young man, for a kid, of course, that's going to be detrimental to you because you're not understanding why. Yeah. And then someone left you. So being able, I give you kudos for the things that you're doing now. They would be proud of you. Yeah. So to them again, say their name.
Jewel Glover, Gwen. Okay. And Aunt May.
We want to always keep their when we say their names, and we're keeping them alive. We're keeping them alive in their spirit. And I know that they're here in the studio with us, and they're proud. I know Dad is out there. He'll be out there in TV land saying, "That's my boy over there. Look at my boy there." But so can you talk about a little part of the scar, of one of the scars that it left? Because I'm talking to, the reason why I'm asking you this question, because we know that there is somebody that's out there that was the same age that you were, and their mom or their dad is dealing with their kid as a young kid, and the same thing that you went through, they went through. Yeah. So even in the healing process, there's always something part of our story, and that's why I do the Odds of the Conscious Soul. It's because to me, our stories, good, bad, ugly, challenging, is important. Yes. Because I'm praying that my story will encourage, motivate, heal somebody else. Yeah. So, if you don't mind.
No, that's fine. I think one of the biggest scars was not having that motherly touch. What that does is it sends you out into the world with this belief that you have to be like not hardcore, but it kind of leave you angry. And it's kind of like when you don't have that mother, that womanly, consistently kind of softening, you kind of having that soft touch, that soft love. My dad was tough love, so that's kind of just how I grew up, which wasn't a bad thing. Right. But in some areas of my life, like relationships, for example, for a while I had a hard time trusting women, and I think that had a lot to do with my mom not being around and not seeing what a woman should be and how they should carry themselves and how they should, you know what I mean? So, I think that was probably one of the biggest scars, was just, trying to.
So with a younger you and a young man that's dealing with that right now, a parent is trying to figure it out. What would you say to that young man or that young woman?
I would say just try your best to, it's hard. It's hard to explain because, but I would say find role models like my aunties. There we go. Find you some role models that's in your family maybe, or even outside your family, but role models that are doing the right thing, that really love you though, because that really matters. That really care about you enough to, show
to
you
get on your head.
Yeah, to get on your head, but in a womanly way though, in a way to where it's like it's not taken where it's not taken hard, shall I say,
Because you already dealt with the part of the hard part. Yeah. So to have that love and to embrace. Yeah. That does, and just to share, there's a lot of grown men that's dealing with that too. Yeah. Right now. Yeah. Not understanding how to really be affectionate, how to be, that soft kind of exactly. You kind of treat it like a dude, like oh, look.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was getting at when I was exactly. So if you got somebody that's close to you, that a woman that's a role model, if your mom not around, then cling to them and let them show you the ropes.
That's good. I like that. All right, Mr. V6, he in the house, sharing knowledge about having a parent leave you at an early age, and how do you heal and how do you get through that? That is very, very important. And thank you for sharing that. Now, with the actual music, you were saying that you have taken some pages from Tupac, because I love Tupac.
Yes.
That brother was before his time. He's to me like Marvin Gaye and a whole lot of other young men and women that's in the music, era. But go ahead.
But yeah, when I say I take pages from his book,
Mm-hmm.
I just try to talk about my experiences, but what I do is I try to tell a story with my verses, you know what I mean, from start to finish, and help people visualize what I'm talking about so they can really relate.
That's good.
You know what I mean? Because you can talk about it, but if people can't relate, then it's just like you just talking.
Exactly.
So that's what I try to do, is try to illustrate the best I can through words.
That's good. And you know what? That's so beautiful, because words are alive.
Yes.
So in how you talk and how you speak and how you add it, because I'm spoken word for me too.
Yeah.
And I always try to make sure that my poetry will be inspirational.
Yes.
It's just not like anybody to me. You would say F you, this. That's easy.
Yeah.
So how do you put some lyrics together that's really going to make sense, tell a story to empower somebody? Because, to me, that's what spoken word is supposed to be about, and rapping.
Exactly.
But hey, everybody is not the same.
Nah, especially nowadays. Nowadays, it's
what
more.
What the heck is mumble? What's it called?
The mumble rap.
What is that?
That's a bunch of people rapping about, mumbling about, the same thing. Drugs, killing, and this and that. That's basically what music is. So artists like me tend to take a back seat, and I'm okay with that. Because,
that's all right.
Yeah, it's okay, because I know that with the music that they put out in the industry, that's what they want. They want us to make music that tears our community apart.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I'm not. I don't agree with it.
Thank you.
So
give me some.
That's what I'm
talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you shared that. I'm glad that you are looking at our community.
Yes.
Community is important.
Oh, yeah.
Our kids, the young folks is coming up, they looking at you all. We have these young kids in school with guns, 7 years old. What?
It's crazy.
Why? It's like, this is really scary and challenging at the same time. I get it, the respect thing, I get all of that.
Yeah.
But what I was always raised with is like, okay, if you in it, y'all fight, you get over with it, and then we come back and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
But not taking somebody's life.
Nah.
It's not worth taking somebody's life.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you gotta live with that.
Ooh, say that again.
You gotta live with
and
that.
A lot of people don't realize that. They don't think about that first.
Yep.
Because that would tear you up on the inside.
Oh yeah. Especially when you're sitting in prison for 25 years.
Holy Jesus. Yes.
All the rest of your life.
Come on.
Yes.
Speak on that.
Yes.
I've been to jail a couple times, but I thank God that it was not for a long time.
Yeah.
But I almost went to jail for mistaken identity for life.
Oh.
The young lady had first of all, she looked like me. She left a senior dead, for dead. They didn't die, but thank God that didn't happen. She had my first name, my middle name, my last name.
What a coincidence.
Her mother had my mother's first name, my mother's maiden name. Then there was 1 digit difference in our social security number, and that was it.
Wow.
So that at that moment in time in my life, I knew God was trying to show me that he was real.
Yeah. Because
the only reason and the only way I was going to get out of that is that someone has to step in. And he stepped in and he sent an angel that was an investigator for like 30 some odd years. Mm. And he was like, nah, I don't think you did it. What would you do to what the extent you would go through to say that you didn't do it or show? I told him, look, whatever I needed to do, Yeah. But that was one of the stories in my life that I know that hey, it is what it is. I get what people think about who they believe in, but I know who I called on and who came through for me.
Yeah, in that situation, that's the only person that can save you, because the system ain't looking to save nobody.
Ooh, I was supposed to be arraigned that Monday. Okay. Went in on that Saturday and went on that Sunday, because it was supposed to be the next day. Mm-hmm. And the everybody, the polygram people, they were gone. So he started off with trying to see if they were, would I take a polygram? I'm like, yes, I'll take a polygram test.
Yeah.
They were not there. They were closed.
Yeah.
And then he just went through some other series of things. But however, I'm sitting here today. So the work that I do, when it says the eyes of the conscious soul, it is really, truthfully, how do you walk into your authentic self?
Exactly.
How do you bring people to the table that's going to empower, share, and encourage somebody?
Yeah.
This is my walk. This is my journey. This is what I do now.
Yeah.
Along with all the other stuff that I do in the community. And I'm not complaining, will never complain, because I'm grateful to my father, our father. We were the founders of Wendy's Cheesecake Bakery in San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
So we were in business for over 40 years on the same block.
Oh, wow.
So, I give kudos to my parents, and entrepreneurship, that's me.
That's a blessing.
Thank you.
That's a blessing.
Thank you. And that piggybacks off into how can people get in contact with you if you want them to check out your social media? That kind of good stuff.
Yeah, I'm on social media. I'm on Instagram as V6 Endless Drip. That's my main page.
Say that again.
V6 Endless Drip.
That's Endless Drip. I ain't met. Hey, yeah, I like that.
That's my main page. That kind of just goes in. The Endless Drip part is just for how I dress and stuff like that, which is my own style. But
And I love that. That's good.
Thank you.
That's good.
My food page is 6 What We Eatin'.
6 What We Eatin'.
Yeah, so that's where I do the food reviews. I do the I post different food. I post the things that I'm baking, home cooked food that I make at home, things like that. So if they want to find me on there, and even on social media, it's just V6.
V6.
I'm on Facebook.
And now, how are they spelling it again?
On Facebook, it's gonna be VEESIX, because they wouldn't let me put the 6 on there. I don't know why. But that's my Facebook. And on Instagram, the V6 Endless Drip is V6IX and Endless Drip. So
okay, I'm digging this Endless Drip.
Yeah,
that's dope.
That's my main page. So
that is really dope, because when I hear Endless Drip, that's like you coming. It's constant. It's like you own one.
Yeah, every time you see me, it's me. I'm not following nobody else's footsteps. Everything is what I created for myself. Even the way I dress. I think that's important now, because a lot of people just try to fit in.
Absolutely, and that's the key. We don't want you to fit in, people, young folks.
Just be yourself.
Be yourself. Be your authentic self.
Exactly.
Because I tell folks all the time, if you try to be somebody else, you're a carbon copy. You ain't the original.
Exactly.
So I like to be the original.
Yeah, and it takes more work to be somebody else than yourself.
Say that again.
It takes way more work to be somebody else than to be yourself. It's easier to be yourself.
Wow.
And you'll feel better at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Wow. You have tuned in to Believe Radio, which is a 24-hour inspirational and gospel music station. You have tuned in to the Eyes of the Conscious Soul with Sistah B. Mellow, with my co-host, Rose. We giving a shout out to him. He is recovering. And then I have my other co-host, V6, in the house. We about to be vibing out. It's going to be so cool. We're going to bring you guys some dope, hot conversation topics going on. And we're going to have that vibe going. But every first Saturday of the month, it is the Corner, Cafe Le Bleu. And then in the Cafe Le Bleu Lounge, we have the Artist Talk, Why I Dream, She Who Believes Takes Off the Mask. And then on the second Saturday of the month, we have the Medicine Hour with Mr. George Pearson, which is my co-host. And this is where we believe building a better tomorrow starts with us. Topics we cover is health issues and concerns, healthy eating habits, education, financing, and politics in the African American community. We believe taking care of your temple, mind, and spirit is essential to having mental wellness, and definitely healthy eating is most importantly, and knowing that healthy thinking leads to a healthy way of living. Every third Saturday is Education is the Best Medicine. This is where we believe vision is the art of seeing things yet unseen and bringing light to a very dark world. And on the fourth Saturday, we switching it up. This was the kitchen table. We're going to bring something fresh to you, bringing it in. So again, we want to thank you for tuning in to Believe Radio. Let Believe Radio be your inspirational music station. Please check out all of the broadcasts that's on Believe Radio. Please go to our Facebook, go to our Twitter, go to Twitch, go to Instagram, whatever you want to do, share it, like it, empower others to be inspired, to give them something different. And I also know that you do like some inspirational affirmation. Tell me a little bit about that. Yes, how did that come to mind?
I'm on Facebook. I tend to post things to kind of uplift people, and it came to mind just from me not having nobody to uplift me, but because I've been through some hard times when nobody was there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But I tend to come up with these things that I say to myself in my head.
That's a gift.
Just to pick myself up. So one day I just said, you know what? Maybe I can just post these things for other people, because I know I'm not the only one going through stuff. You know what I mean? And some people, even if you're not close to them, even if you're a stranger,
absolutely,
it's certain things that you may say that may be so powerful that person's life may change right there at that moment.
Absolutely.
And I've had that happen. I've had things that I've said to people who inbox me like, I'm going through this and going through that. And I inbox them back and say, hey, and give them a few words. And a couple of days later, they're like, man, I'm so glad you did that. Like, this is what happened after that. And I'm like, man, like,
See?
Yeah, so.
And this is what I believe. I believe in, of course, divine time, divine order, and I got that from Ayana Van Zandt. However, it is our ancestors have chosen things for us to do, and that was a part of it. The Lord has called you to do that,
yes,
to inspire somebody. And I always ask folks to, these days, ask yourself, why are you here? Be intentional about your life. Be intentional about the things that you do. Because somebody is watching you. Not only that somebody is watching you, you can inspire somebody. Yeah. People think I'm crazy. I walk down the street and I say, hello, good morning, how you doing? And people look, why is she speaking to me? But and then I give smiles.
Yeah.
So it's like, but you never know what someone's going through.
Yeah.
So you never judge a book by its cover, too, because you don't know.
Right.
But like I was saying with our ancestors, it's they like, we're passing the torch to you all. What are you gonna do? I'm about creating legacy. Yeah. So how are we going to create this legacy? How are we going to continue to uplift and empower and encourage our youth? Because it's already a lot of negativity out there.
Oh, a whole lot.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's a lot of negativity. What I try to do, I figured this out just a few years ago. My purpose,
yes,
or at least a little bit of my purpose, is to be as positive as possible.
Come on.
To anybody. You know what I mean? I walk down the street, I say, good morning, how you doing? Even the people that may look at me and mean muggle, because it's like, why you talking to me, bro? But it's like, look, this is who I am. You know what I mean? I don't change for nobody. And that's what I do on a daily basis, is try to just be as positive as I can and around whoever. You know what I mean? And that's me. It's not a fake, it's not a front, nothing like that. It's just, I've owned the fact that that's part of my life is being positive and helping people, even if it's through words.
That's right. Wow, you have heard it here on Believe Radio, which is a 24-hour inspirational and gospel music station. You have tuned into the Eyes of the Conscious Soul with Sistah B. Mellow. And now I have one of my co-hosts is on Cafe Le Blue Lounge, which is the corner. And we come to you live every first Saturday of the month. I'm so excited about the things that we're going to do and about the awareness that we're going to bring. And most importantly, empowering and encouraging people to be their authentic self.
Yeah.
Because that's all you could be.
That's all you can be.
That's the best. And then, like you said earlier, when you're acting like somebody else, you don't find you, first of all.
Yeah.
You don't begin to know who you are. You lose you. And it is so important that we tune in and tap into ourselves.
Exactly.
And that was something that I did early with my kids. What I did, I had this mental shutdown quiet time. And I wanted them to be okay with being in tune with their thoughts, their mind, and the things that they were feeling,
exactly,
at the time in their lives. Because I told them, look, from morning to the time you got out of school, you've been talking.
Exactly.
So now, and then allow me as a mom to be able to, well, they had a choice to be able to be creative and write, draw, sit in silence, or be able to do something positive.
Yeah.
So and they were able to be, and that's why they were able to be alone.
Exactly.
And they okay with themselves.
Yeah.
You know, they cool. And people was like, why do you do your kids like that? You know, they thought, and then I had them say, girl, I adopted that. Then don't shut down, quiet down.
Yeah, my dad he did that a lot.
Okay, good.
That's actually one of the reasons why I'm good at writing. I've written a few books that I haven't had published yet.
Hey, you're going to publish.
Yeah, but
we're going to do that.
Yep, he was big on not playing games all the time, because that's what the community is now. People just put a tablet in front of their kids and just here.
It's the babysitter.
Exactly.
And then we wonder why kids are doing what they're doing, and then what's sad? They lose their imagination.
Oh yeah, their imagination is YouTube. That's it.
And they know nothing about using this, and it sets them up for failure, because when they go to school, or when you start a business, or when you start a job, you're going to have to use your imagination. You're going to have to think. You're going to have to, and unfortunately, it's sad to see.
Yeah.
You give them, and at my house also, my kids couldn't watch that crazy stuff on TV.
Yeah.
And even my nieces and my nephew knew. They were like, "Oh, I don't want to go to Auntie Barbara's house because we can't watch TV." Yes, you're gonna be creative. You're gonna think. You're gonna do something.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna sit there and just we ain't doing that. Go ahead.
That's how I was at my sister's house. I used to. She's actually the one that introduced me to church.
Oh, okay.
I got baptized because of my sister.
Right on. And what's her name?
Katrina Ellenberg.
And she has a business too?
Yeah, she actually has a daycare.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is the name?
It's First Choice Daycare in Oakland.
Okay.
Yeah, if anybody need a daycare or childcare, anything like that, she does do daycare. She introduced me to church at a very young age. When I used to go to when I was living with my dad and my grandma. So they didn't go to church. But when I would go to her house, it was a totally different program. You know what I mean? Like at home, I may play the game.
Structure.
Exactly.
My kids had structure.
Yeah, and that's one of the things she was big on, was structure. So
that's good. Because our kids need that today. Go ahead.
Yeah. And it wasn't no like eating junk food all the time, nothing like that. She'll make us eat fruit, things like that. And I appreciate it for that now, because that's why I practice those same habits.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I appreciate it. And she was also heavily influenced on my life. I didn't mention her earlier. I apologize for that.
It's okay.
That is my sister. She was there.
How many siblings?
Two. I got her, and I got my brother Aaron Grant. He's actually he paints shoes and restores shoes, AA Customs on Instagram.
Now. How can they get in contact with him?
On Instagram is AA Customs. That's double and the letter A Customs. He does shoes. He restores them. He repaints them, customizes.
Wow.
Yeah, all that.
See, my hat goes off to you all. Kudos to you guys, to you young folks. This is what it's about. Being able to set yourself on high to reach your highest potential.
Exactly.
Because the only one that's going to stop you is you.
Exactly.
I get it. Society plays a role, but the most important part is you.
Yeah.
Because you can say, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be creative, and I can do all these different things.
Yeah.
And as we said earlier, words are alive. And to have young folks that's out there that's inspired. Because this is what the show is about, is to make sure that we encourage other people, hey, what do you love to do?
Exactly.
And turn it into a business, an entrepreneurship.
Yep.
That's my background. That's what I come from.
You're absolutely right.
So everything that I see that people love or they can do, do you can turn that into a business?
Yeah, some people need that. A lot of people need that. And you really get into it. You really get into doing what you want to do when you tap into yourself. When you following somebody, you don't know where that person going. You don't know what their purpose is. So be yourself, and you'll find your purpose.
Absolutely. And they even if it's something, even if they don't know, just start jotting down some different things.
Yeah. Jot
down some things through your day, and then you go back and you look at it, and you go, and then I guarantee you, the inside of you is going to be like, hey, maybe this.
Yeah.
Listening to your voice.
Yeah.
That medicine that's on the inside of you.
Exactly. ideas will just start coming.
Ideas will start coming.
Easy, they'll start flowing. That's what happened. Like I started sitting up and I was just like, man, you know what, I should do this food thing, and stuff just started happening. Like ideas started coming, the whole dump cake thing started happening, and I started perfecting that. I'm still perfecting it, but had I wouldn't have really just sat down and just tapped into what I wanted to do, you know what I mean, then it probably wouldn't have happened that way. But it just takes some people longer than others.
Absolutely. You know. Absolutely. But you have to start.
Yeah.
That's the key. Somewhere. If you procrastinate. If you do that, you go nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, you only stop yourself. You're the only one that has. People can encourage you, they can motivate, they can inspire you, but you're going to be the one that have to say, "Hey, this is what I'm ready to do."
Yeah.
And that's a key. So, when you hear the word season, what comes to your mind?
Season.
The word season, like a season in your life.
What comes to my mind is we all have different seasons. Like you may have a season where you feel like you're getting somewhere, where you feel like everything you dreamed of is on its way. Right. Then you may have a season where you feel like everything is falling apart.
Right.
Personally, me right now, I'm in a season where I'm kind of just not saying everything is falling apart, but I'm figuring things out.
There we go.
You know what I mean? I'm figuring out, you know, which way I need to go, the things that I need to do, the people that I need to get rid of.
Come on. Say that again.
Yeah, because I had a lot of people that was around me that was just dead weight, that never wanted to see me go nowhere. You know what I mean? So I had to shed those people.
And we love them still. Yeah, we still love them, but it's like you have to be the one to know that they can only go so far.
Exactly.
Like Pastor Long said, that they can only go to the base of the mountain.
Exactly.
And you got to move on.
Yeah. You can't take everybody with you. So that's one of the key things that's where I'm at in my season right now. Is just learning what I need to do to get to where I need to go.
Absolutely.
You know. So.
Well, I'm gonna help you. Look, help you. I'm gonna help you out.
You're a blessing. I thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that more than you know. You're gonna have me crying over here, but it's all good because, like I said before, it is my responsibility. I've taken this upon myself in my life, and my dad and my mom taught us that is that you take care of your community.
Yeah.
You take care of the people that's around you. You know, whatever you could do to inspire or whatever you need to do to help them. And I've always been, folks, I've been a connector. You know, I give a lot of community events. Again, we're the founders and the coordinator of the Oakland's Juneteenth. We just celebrated our 16th year. We're so grateful and thankful to that. And there's so many things that I do. But in the midst of that, I always make sure that I award and say thank you to the individuals that I know that's making a difference in our community and in other folks' lives, because I believe you give people your flowers while they're here.
Exactly.
And it is important to say that.
Yeah.
You know, and to give honor.
Yeah.
I believe give credit where credit is due.
Oh yeah. That's big. That's big in people. You know, it seemed like now, you know, well, I'm not gonna say now, but you know, loving people when they're here instead of waiting until they're dead to say how much you love them. You know, I see that a lot. So
yes.
I do the same thing. I try to give people, you know, thanks, and anybody who's ever helped me, they know that I thank them. I appreciate them. I love them. Things like that. So I never wait until somebody's gone to appreciate them.
That's right. That's right. Well, you know, I always tell my kids I love them.
Yeah.
You know, and it's vice versa. And then it is so important what you just said. You don't want to wait. The person is not here, and then you can't. That's another side of you that you then can't find yourself. Exactly. It takes you back, make some steps backwards versus moving some. That's what sharing and saying thank you to people. It opens up room for more for you to gather and for you to be able to get that harvest.
Yeah.
You know, and I believe in like the Lord said, one plant. One does the watering and he does the increase. Exactly. So you know that's all we're doing. Yeah. We're just hopefully, prayerfully, doing some seeds or watering. We don't know what season that a person like you said is in as of right now. And you know my season is crazy. The season that I am in right now, there was something that my mom shared in her spirit to me when she passed away, and that was go. Just go, just do it. Because that's what her and my father did. You know, being entrepreneurs, it was like they thought of an idea. They were around positive people that seen the worth in them and invest.
Yeah.
And then that was how they were able to, keep moving. But that is it's important, the seasons, and just in knowing wherever your season is, be all right with it.
Exactly.
Just push through that season though.
Yeah, it's life.
It's life.
Even when things get hard, even when things seem like it's just not working out, nothing worth fighting for is easy.
On.
You know what I mean? Like it's whatever you want to do in life, it's not going to be easy. Mm-hmm. Especially if you focus, it's going to be a bunch of things that get in front of you, roadblocks, a whole bunch of stuff, but you just got to keep pushing. Mm-hmm. It's so hard every day. I got to keep pushing. It's hard, but that's one thing that my dad instilled in me. Like I watched him go through so much. Yeah. You know what I mean? Going through a lot. Like and he never stopped.
Well, for a black man, for a young black man that's in the paint today, I want to say I commend you, because it is hard for you all as young black men. It's a lot that you all have to deal with, and it's crazy.
Yeah, and I think
that you guys have to even deal with this. Yeah. But it's the way it is.
Yeah.
But being around, like you said, having positive people, reinforcing that positive attitude and encouragement in yourself, is important. So to a young man that you all kind of touched on it a little bit, that's maybe in a state right now and don't know or confused, what would you say to him? Because I know you've been there, lived experiences.
Yeah, I would say accept what you just said about things that we got to go through out there. Accept that. Once you accept that it's not easy for us as black men, like, then you'll be okay. I think a lot of people, they get caught up in expecting something. Expecting somebody to help them, or expecting things to be easy.
Right.
It's not going to be easy at all. Like, we got so much stacked against us. Like, as soon as we walk out the door, it's a war. You know what I mean? So I think that once you accept that, then you learn how to navigate through it.
Right. Yeah. And putting your armor on. You got to get yourself mentally ready. And as you were saying earlier, if you encourage yourself to learn about you, a lot of people these days don't like to sit alone with themselves. And it's like, if that's where you are, you got to ask yourself why.
Yeah.
You got to and it's okay. Just know where you are right now in your mind, and then make steps to come out of that.
Yeah. And
to make yourself, make ourselves better. Again, you have tuned into Believe Radio, which is a 24-hour inspirational and gospel music station. Please tell a friend to tune in. Tap into the Twitter, to the Facebook, to the Instagram, to all the social media. Inspire somebody, encourage them to tap into themselves first of all, and to be empower themselves, because we got the medicine.
Yes.
The medicine is in us.
Yeah.
The medicine is in us. So with that, my co-host, Mr. V6 in the house. So hope. When you hear the word hope, what comes to your mind?
When I hear the word hope, I think about that's something that we all should. I wouldn't say live on.
Yeah.
But that's something that we should always have, is hope. You know what I mean? That we're gonna make it. That everything gonna be okay. Like I said earlier, when you're going through something, it's kind of hard to have hope.
Absolutely.
It's
and that's why you have to surround yourself around people that can bring or share hope with you, even though when you in a funk, it's like, okay, come up out of there now.
Yeah. And even if you don't have people around you, be so in tune with yourself that you have enough hope to keep going on your own. Because people are not going to be there all the time.
Say that again.
People are not going to be there to uplift you or to even give you words of encouragement. So if you can't do it for yourself, don't expect nobody else to do it for you. So hope is big.
That is true. Wow. So you guys heard it. We just want to inspire the platform, and you may have some young folks that's out there that you want to give words of encouragement to. Family. We're here as a family. This is what Believe Radio is about. This is definitely what the Eyes of the Conscious Soul is about, is bringing individuals that's in the community out and give them a platform and share and encourage and hopefully motivate them. Because, as I said earlier, legacy. When you hear the word legacy, what comes to your mind?
Hearing the word legacy, I think about just leaving something behind that everybody can remember you by. Right. Something positive, of course.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because people can remember you about a whole lot of bad things.
Yeah, a whole lot of bad stuff. But even, we all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. So even if you have things in your life that may be negative,
say that.
You can turn that around, by being positive. You have some people who's been through negative things in life that carry that so much that they just can never see themselves being positive. Man. And they don't even know it.
Right.
They walk around being so negative and they don't even know. But it's because they don't have that positivity, that mindset to turn things around. So I think as far as legacy go, I think that's leaving something behind positive, and also leaving something behind, for your family to cling to, like generational wealth, like how you doing with Juneteenth and stuff like that. That's a legacy waiting to happen. You know what I mean? So
and we about to do it too.
Oh yeah, it's coming.
And I'm so grateful and thankful. The beauty about meeting you too is that you were like, oh, there's something that you can add this and you can do this, and then being able to create that platform. And I want to thank my daughter for that. Thank her for that. So with a legacy, what would you like to leave? What would you like to do for your girls? Or for yourself and for family?
For me, I would once again like to leave something positive behind. Just for my character, just for people to know that I was the kind of person that helped people, that cared about people, no matter who you was, no matter what you might have did to me, no matter what you might have did. You know what I mean? Like, even though I keep them at a distance, but
like
but I still want people to know, like, when I go, that Vance was that person that I could look to, even if it was for words of encouragement, for a job, if I needed a place to stay, like, I just want to be known as being the most positive person that somebody can run into, the most brightest person, you know what I mean? And as for my kids, I want to leave them something, like with the food thing. Yes. If I can turn this thing into a restaurant,
you will.
Some type of
look. We got a bakery. Look, you talking. Look, and that's crazy because now, as I was talking about the season now is back for me to reopen the bakery.
Oh, okay.
And to reopen. So I'm God is blessing, and I'm looking for spaces, because we used to be, we had our Daughters of Wendy's Cheesecake Bakery right in Jack London Village. So we were down there. Mother and father had the big one in San Francisco, the big shop, Wendy's Cheesecake Bakery, over in the Bayview district. Okay. So then myself and my sisters, we opened our number 2. It was Daughters of Wendy's Cheesecake Bakery. Okay. So we getting ready to do that. We're about to. So you stick.
That sound like a plan too. And and just trying to turn it maybe into a franchise or something. That's something like that. Something that when I'm gone, they can take over and put their own touch on it.
Absolutely.
And just having a positive mindset in life, because I want to give them something I never had, and that's starting off with not necessarily being financially stable, because money ain't everything.
Come on, say that again.
It's a big part,
right,
of the attitude you may have. Like, so I want them to not have certain worries and certain burdens that I have coming up. You know what I mean? And even now, like, I want them, when they turn 21, 22 years old, I want them to be able to go into a trust fund and be able to take care of everything they need to be able to take care of.
Well, that's really, really cool, because we're getting ready to, of course, with the nonprofit, and that's BH Brilliant Minds Project Inc. So we do a lot of projects and a lot of, like I said, events around the community. So I'm getting ready to do a financial literacy program for the young. Well, it's a part of our three. What we do is, the purpose is to provide tools for youth and young adults to reach their highest potential in life. That's the purpose. The mission is to empower brilliant minds to take control of their own destiny. Okay. And the 3 pillars that we use is self-awareness, and then it's we use with a little holistic approach, but it's through self-awareness, and then we have health and wellness, and then we have financial literacy / entrepreneurship.
Okay. So
that's what we do, and we're getting ready to. I will announce that a little later about the date we're going to do it and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah. That's what's important to us, to allow folks to why I dream. Why do you dream? Why do you think you should dream? Why should we use our imagination? Because we have so many people that it came with creating through the imagination.
Yeah.
And this is what we're trying to get the kids to understand, that they use the imagination. Our people use our imagination to be able to create.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So I was just agreeing
Okay.
what you said. Our imagination is important. Without the imagination, you really don't have much, or at least you don't have your own ideas.
Ooh, say that again. Your own ideas with your own imagination.
Yeah,
come on.
That's where it comes from.
Come on.
So without that, you just out here, you just in the world, just living, and that's fine. But if you want to get somewhere, you might want to tap into your own imagination and get things going for yourself, so you can put your own touch on something.
Right. Yeah. And that's leaving your mark.
Exactly. Leaving a legacy.
Leaving the legacy. Leaving the mark on the world. Wow. Time flies when we have fun. Boy, we got 10 more minutes, and this has just been a cool space. A space to be able to be open and honest, and that platform, being able to share and be our authentic self. And that's what the Eyes of the Conscious Soul is about, is how do we tap into our authentic self, and how do we be okay with us, and not want what everybody else have, but be okay with you.
Yeah.
Because some people, like you said, everybody is not designed to go to school.
Yeah.
So get a trade, or be an entrepreneur. There's something out there for us. And when you are looking at what somebody else is doing, that may not be your call. Exactly. That may not be, and then you get down on yourself. Yeah. So we don't want people to be able, that's why we saying walk into your authentic self, learn who you are, be okay with you, heal through scars. Maze is one of my favorite groups. It said joy and pain, sunshine and rain.
Oh yeah.
It's a part of life.
Yeah.
And if we can understand, like you were saying, expecting certain things, if it don't happen, then you feel bad. But it says joy and pain, sunshine and rain.
Yeah.
It's going to rain and you're going to have pain. Those are the things that we're going to have in life. And God tells us that. That's what got me through a lot of things in my life, is that I look at it in a different perspective. The challenging things in my life that happens to me, I'm like, okay, what were you supposed to learn from it? I don't look at it now as like, oh, why me? No, I look at it as, okay, it was a lesson learned. What am I supposed to learn from it? How do I get back up? How do I move forward? And how I inspire myself and empower myself and empower and inspire others. So with that, again, you have tuned in to Believe Radio, which is a 24-hour inspirational and gospel music station. The Eyes of the Conscious Soul brings to you every first Saturday of the month. We have the corner on Cafe Le Bleu Lounge, which has the artist talk, Why I Dream, She Who Believes Takes Off the Mask. The second Saturday of the month is the Medicine Hour with my co-host, Mr. George Pearson, the founder and producer of Education is the Best Medicine. This is where we believe building a better tomorrow starts with us. Topics we cover is health issues and concerns. We talk about healthy eating habits. We talk about education, financing, and politics in the African American community. We believe taking care of our temple, mind, and spirit is essential to mental wellness. And of course, healthy eating habits is important, because we got to get away from a lot of the pork and all that salt and all that kind of stuff. And I like what you talked about, your sister and your family, making sure that the kids will be eating fruits and vegetables. That is so important. And we wonder why our kids are hyper.
Oh yeah.
And it's like you just gave them sugar.
Oh yeah.
So give them the natural sugar that they will have, and it's in peanut butter and all that kind of good stuff, and the vegetables. It's how we and what we give our kids while they're growing up is what they're going to be in tune to have. Go ahead.
Yeah, and just now with all these different growth hormones,
come on,
and
now,
stuff like that. With these kids, growing beards at 12 and stuff like that, and it's so you might kind of want to, not saying you don't.
We're not talking bad about the food industry, but however, we're giving you our point of view.
Exactly.
And how, what we know that's in order for especially African American people and Black and brown people,
yes,
there's certain eating habits and certain things that we have to change our diet.
yeah,
And that's what education is the best medicine. Mr. Pearson talks about, because he is a physician assistant, and he always inspires to know that education is the best medicine. He said, educate yourself on different things about your habits of food and whatever is going on with you, and that's why we love that show that he provides for us, for a clinician, sharing about. But go ahead, you were getting ready to say something.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say that's why now I'm trying to get back to just eating home cooked food rather than, because for a minute, I was working so much to where fast food was like, that was it, because it was just like I'm working 16, 17 hours a day, and it's like when you get home, you don't feel like cooking and stuff like that. So it's just now I'm starting to get back to that, starting to get back to eating what,
healthy.
Yeah, a little bit healthier.
Healthy.
Yeah. Eat bananas in the morning, stuff like that. Cereal instead of Wendy's, things, things like that. So, I'm just trying to, I'm trying to, and my kids, I just had them last weekend or weekend before last. And they was asking me for candy. Like, can we have candy in the morning? And I'm like, wait, where's y'all, it's mom,
the bananas,
grandma,
and orange and apples.
And I'm giving them, and over there, it's like, here, take this banana. You know what I mean? Take this, these pineapples.
That's
things like that. So, and I know giving them candy and stuff, it just jack up and make them, they jumping all over the walls. You know what I mean?
But you know what? It's true, because if you have something sweet and you an adult, how hyper you get. So we just asking families to please, with the kids being in school, and we just came out of summer, is that there's watch what we eat, because we like tell them sit down. They're like, well, I can't sit down. You just gave me some cake. Give me some natural sugar.
Exactly.
Give me some carrots or some celery or something. And then it's crazy, because what I loved about some of the schools is that they were giving the kids during eating in the class, instead of having them have the snacks, they were able to have carrots. They were, different vegetables. They didn't know they didn't know if they liked it or not, but they end up finding out that they did like it. So being able to watch what we eat and watch what enters into our minds, our bodies, our spirits, is important.
Exactly.
And I commend you for definitely taking out the time to now cook, and you know what's going in the food when you cook it, so it is important. My stomach over here growling now. I haven't eaten all day. The only thing I have had is a Jamba Juice, but I'm gonna eat it. I can't wait. I'm kidding. But again, we want to thank you all for tuning into Believe Radio, which is a 24-hour inspirational and gospel music station. We want you to definitely, please, on the social media, share, like, send it to your family and friends. There's a lot of segments. Oh Lord, my stomach over here growling loud. So I hope they can't hear that. My stomach growling loud. But there's different talk shows that's on here that's very powerful and encourages people. So we want you to tap into what we're doing. Again, boy, we have 2 minutes left. It's been a pleasure vibing with you, and we're going to be vibing with Rose. I can't wait. It's the similarities is going to be dope of what you just said. That's the same thing he said, that he wants to make sure that he leaves for his legacy is being positive. I'm so excited about.
I can't wait.
It's going to be really, really cool. So the corner is definitely on Cafe Le Blue Lounge, which is a 15 to 45 minute segment called The Corner on Cafe Le Blue Lounge. And each corner has a blueprint that is unique of its own. And we ask folks to, to vibe out with us, relax to cool sounds, fireside chats, and they be fiery. But it's about being real, being authentic. So again, we want to thank folks for tuning in. You want to have a final word?
I just want to thank you.
Oh.
I just want to let you know I appreciate this opportunity. This is my first radio show.
Hey.
So it felt kind of natural.
It was talking. Natural.
Yeah. So,
because it's your gift.
Exactly. Yeah. So once again, I appreciate you it's a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
And I just hope everybody shared, and I hope this thing will become bigger than you can ever imagine.
Absolutely, and it will.
It will.
It will, because God gave us the tools, He gave us the opportunity, and He gave us the platform.
Yeah.
So that's the beautiful thing about dealing with Him. It's like all my wildest dreams, all my things that, everything that I prayed for and asked for, I've gotten it.
Yeah.
So pray for my husband. No, I'm kidding. I'm praying for my husband now.
It's coming.
It's coming. But again, we want to thank you for tuning in. And it's about having fun.
Yes.
You have to have a sense of humor in life.
Yeah.
And we want to encourage people to have a sense of humor. Be safe this holiday weekend. Please love on your family and friends. We love you, and we want to thank you, and we want to say good night, and thank you for tuning in to the Eyes of the Conscious Soul on Believe Radio. Good night.